Well, good evening and thanks for joining us here on News 20 on GTN. We have a great show for you tonight here on our news set. Hope you like it. Joining me to my right, we have the Queen, Miss Senior Missouri Pageant. Glad you could join us. We have Sonia Nelson-Stowe. Glad you could join us here on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy. It's really fun being here.
And to your right, we have the co-state director, Peggy Eggers. I know you put a lot of work into this pageant.
Yeah.
I am so proud and honored to be involved with this for so many years, probably around the 10-year mark now between judging and last year being the MC. I thank you so much for allowing me the privilege to do that. It was a lot of fun, and looking forward to this year.
Oh, we are too. You did a great job.
Well,
we are really excited about you doing this for
Like I
us.
said, I was honored to step into it. I was only hoping I could do half as good as the previous two. Don Wolf has always done a great job. A big fan of Don Wolf.
Yes.
So, all right, let's talk, Sonia, what it's been like. It's been about 6 months. The year's just flying by. Is it flying by for you also?
It's half over already. I can hardly believe it, and I have had so much fun.
So if you look at it in terms of being half over, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's both. It's a good thing because I still have another half year to go yet and more showcases to do and more parades to do, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the year a lot.
Did you think, looking back now, this is what it was going to be like? Did you understand that it was such an important role that you were stepping into?
No, I didn't. I really just wanted to do this because I wanted to use my music to benefit others, and I heard about the Cameo Club and I could do that. So I never realized how much fun it was going to be going and doing the showcases and doing the parades. It's a lot more busy than I thought it would be. It's a lot more exciting and it's a lot more fun.
Peggy, as we step into this new year here, anybody who has seen the pageant, been to the pageant, sees the interview today, how can they get involved in this? What are the stipulations as far as age, and are there any certain requirements?
Well, we are looking for candidates. All they have to do is contact me and I'll give them information. But what we're looking for is any woman who is the age of elegance, which is the age of 60 or older, and is a resident of the state of Missouri. There are 4 categories that they would be required to do. That would be the interview with the judges, evening gown presentation, their talent, and then their philosophy of life. Sorry, there's no swimsuit competition.
Well, everybody, I think that they worry more about the talent and the public speaking than even the swimsuit part of it, if there was one. What would you say to somebody out there about those fears and maybe stepping outside the box of what they're comfortable with? Because I would say almost every lady who stepped into that room as a judge was very nervous. That was the most nerve-wracking part of it, is talking about themselves.
Well, that part of it was very much fun for me. I really liked that a lot. I liked the judges. They were very interactive with me. I really liked that. I would say to somebody that's going to do it, go ahead and give it a try. When some well-meaning friends were encouraging me to do this, I said, I don't do pageants. Well, this pageant is not about a beauty contest, and it's not about winning scholarship money or scholarships or anything. It's about using your talents to give back to the community, and I wanted to do that. And this is such a good way to do it. And it was a real stretch, and stepping out of the box and doing something that I thought, well, I probably wouldn't do something like this at this age of my life. This is really going to be an experience, and it really has been a good experience.
So tell me how the dulcimer comes into play. When is that something from your childhood, or is that something you just picked up?
I played music all my childhood, piano, I played flute in my college symphony orchestra, but I started the dulcimer a year and a half ago when I broke my leg, sprained some ligaments in my ankle, and couldn't play golf or do my competitive ballroom dancing. And I said, I need a new activity that doesn't involve feet. So I always wanted to play the hammered dulcimer, and this was a perfect time to focus on that. So I started that instrument, and I've just absolutely loved it. I'm still taking lessons, and I'm going to get better.
Now, Peggy, this seems to be the general consensus when you talk to some of the contestants. She's talking about, well, I couldn't play golf, or I couldn't do competitive dancing. it seems really like there's a divide. When you get to a certain age, it's either sit on the couch and watch TV and just per se wither away maybe, or you're out there doing what a lot of ladies in this pageant are doing, which is everything. Do you see that?
Oh, yes, and what we see is that it's sort of like a doorway for them. They're at a point where either they became just retired, or they just became widowed, or they're not working anymore. They're not quite sure what to do with their life, and they want to do something. And this is a doorway for them to come in and say, here I am, I'm aging, but I'm aging gracefully, and I have this to offer and this to contribute to the elegance of aging. And it's not only for the women, we affect a lot of men too, because as we go out, they're always amazed at, like, gosh, there's really some really nice looking women out there that are our age. And so we turn a lot of heads, and we always draw a crowd when we do a parade because all the men come around, especially the soldiers. They come around and go, "Oh, look at you!" You know.
And what would you say to people out there who maybe grew up never being part of, per se, like the beauty pageant realm, about getting involved in this? Because a lot of them had no prior involvement in anything like that.
Right, because it's the best vehicle that we have for being able to showcase women at this age and to promote them and encourage them. Because I had no pageant experience, because you think pageants, you think all the young girls and the Miss America pageant and the Miss Universe and that sort of thing, but this is the best vehicle that we have to showcase women who have talents, who have something to say, and who want to contribute to the society. And this is our 25th year, so we've been really going at it, and we do national things as well as and it's all statewide. It's just not Missouri, St. Louis. We do go throughout the state.
And this is a big commitment, though. If you get involved with it, you have to be focused, because if you do win, it's a year-long commitment. What are some of the things you've been out and about doing?
Well, the showcases, of course, we did 7 of those in December, along with all of our other December duties. I had 3 parades so far, and I've got 3 more or 4 more to do in the second half of the year. The parades are so much fun. One of my highlights was going to Sedalia to the state fair and performing there and judging their dance contest. We went to Jefferson City and did a summit on aging and health there. We've done just a lot of public appearances around the community. It's been a lot of fun. And then my big highlight was going to Atlantic City, New Jersey to represent Missouri in the National Miss Senior America pageant.
And what was that like, the difference between the local pageant here and then the national pageant?
Well, it's a big venue to go to Atlantic City. We've all seen the young Miss America pageants there, and so it was kind of a step behind the scenes to see what it's like being in one of those big productions. It was really interesting. I met some wonderful friends from all the states in the U.S., different states, and it was a really, really fun experience to meet all those talented, beautiful women and to be in the production.
And I bet you were the only one playing the hammer dulcimer.
Well,
right?
Yes.
Actually, you're the only person I've ever met. I never even knew what that thing
I don't think I've ever had a hammer dulcimer at the national pageant before.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And Peggy, it's got to be a feather in your hat, Denise's hat, and I could go on and on with all the ladies who were involved with this through the years. But I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want anybody mad at me. But it's got to be a feather in the hat when the contestants come back, and even the national winners come in and compliment the pageant and how it's run and how professionally it's done here in the Missouri area.
We are just so proud of our pageant. Now, when I was queen, I had the opportunity to go to Arkansas, to go to Texas, and I had actually even been asked to judge in California, but that never materialized. So I got to see how other states did their pageants. And they're really geared according to like their demographics and their logistics. Because, I mean, Texas is huge. California is huge. They have several preliminaries. Other states like Vermont, Massachusetts, they're much smaller. So I got a feel of like how they do their pageants and then going to the nationals. But our pageant is the best.
It is.
We really put on a great show. It's entertaining, it gets the job done, and it really focuses what we want to focus, and that's picking a queen that can represent women of elegance. And when we go to the showcases, as a matter of fact, we go to retirement centers, senior clubs, dinners, banquets, and we perform. So not only does the queen perform, but other members of the Cameo Club. Our dancers, our tambourine number.
What's the general response? I know what the response is, but for the people out there who are watching tonight, when you walk into a room and you've got all your pageantry on and it just all starts happening, is it just a look of awe out of everybody?
It's so much fun to watch the people interact with us, and they'll go, wow, you know, and then they just get into clapping and dancing around with us and having a good time. And it makes you feel so good because you feel like maybe you brightened somebody's day.
Yes.
It's just a great feeling.
And I've heard from queens in the past that it's also a special feeling with the youngsters.
Yes.
The little ones that look up and go, wow, there's a queen. What's that make you
The
feel?
last time I performed was so funny because I was standing out in the front doing my dulcimer, and right in the middle of my number, this little bitty, like 3-year-old kid came up and just got right behind me. It's where he could see me hitting the strings, and he just stood there and danced around and watched me, and I was like, man, I'm having an impact on young children and music in general.
So what do you say, Peggy, to someone who has, I don't want to say no talent, because everybody has a talent doing something, but people, when you say talent, they think of singing, dancing, piano, hammer, dulcimer, you know, things like that. But you can read a book, you can show, you can do poetry, you can do really anything.
Right. Actually, there are probably women out there who do have a talent that they just haven't, it's back in the closet collecting dust. And it's like, we had a couple of women who actually went out and said, you know, that baton's been sitting in my closet. I think I'll get that baton out and do a baton number. We have a lot of dancers. We do have a lot of singers. We had a ventriloquist. We have beautiful women who read poetry and that are so poignant and funny. We've had comedians. So, I mean, we work with the women in all the aspects of doing the pageant. We're not expecting you to come to us as a finished product. We will coach you. We will zip up your dress. We'll put the eyelashes on and powder you up and show you how to walk, help you with your talent, help you with your philosophy so that you can be the best that you can be for this pageant.
Now, being involved through the years, more this past year than any other year, I really got to see what goes on backstage because I was back there getting dressed and you guys, everything was just total chaos. What's it like for the ladies involved? It seems like everybody's really, there's no, you know, fighting or arguing. Everybody's really trying to help everybody.
Yeah, we made some really great lifelong friends backstage. While we're waiting for our turn to go on, we would just sit back there and visit and watch the video of the pageant happening, and it was just fun doing that. It was something that you aren't going to forget.
Well, Sonia, you're going to stay with us for the second half. Peggy, as we wrap this first segment up, let everybody know how they can find out more information about becoming a part of this great pageant.
Well, they can contact me because I'm the contestant director, and you'll give them my phone number. We also have a website that they can go out and check out our events, and then we also have a Facebook page that's for the pageant where you can see more of what Lasagna and Veronica have done as far as being in the pageant and being queen.
And right now you see all that information on the screen. Feel free to contact them at your convenience. And the date of this year's pageant for anybody involved.
Yes, it's July 13th at the Florissant Civic Center Theater.
And a time commitment real quickly for someone who decides to become part of it. When does it start and how much time do they put into this?
We have an interview and informational meeting that we're having at the end of January so that we can get to know you and you can get to know us and have a good exchange of questions and answers. Then we have auditions for in front of the Cameo Club in February. There will be a major onstage rehearsal in April, and then one in June. And then there's production week, which is just a few days before the pageant, where we do finalize the staging. There's a banquet for our contestants, and then the pageant on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
It sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a blast.
It's a lot of fun. I've had a great time being involved with this. You will too, so make sure and check it out. Stay with us. We've got a lot more here on News 20 on GTN about the Miss Missouri Senior America Pageant. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Norm McCourt. I'm the mayor of the city of Blackjack, Missouri. Make sure to follow the city on all of our social media platforms, including Facebook at City of Blackjack Government, and on Twitter at City of Blackjack, and of course, right here on GTN TV. You can also visit us on the web at cityofblackjack.com. As our motto states, we are proud to be connected with the community.
And welcome back to News 20 here on GTN. I'm joined once again to my right by Miss Missouri Senior America, the Queen, Sonia Nelson-Stowe. Glad you could join us once again here on the show. We appreciate your time.
It's fun.
I wish I had half your energy. Half your energy. And to your right now we have the other co-state director, Denise Lafferty. Thank you for joining us here today. We appreciate it.
Great to be here.
We talked before to Peggy about the responsibility of everything that goes on with the pageant. You share in that responsibility, and I know there's a lot. It goes every day of the year. The day the pageant's over, you start on the next one. Yes, but it's got to be a lot of fun for you to be involved for as long as you have been involved.
It is. It's been wonderful. This is my 4th year coming up as co-state director. And you start out and you know nothing. I mean, you think you do, but you absolutely know nothing. And each year you learn a little bit more and try to put into effect what you think should be done. And we have lots of help to do it, so that helps.
And just to let everybody know, back in 2005 you were in the pageant and you were second runner-up and Miss Congeniality. What are some of the things you remember about the pageant?
Wonderful things. I didn't really, like these two ladies have said, I really didn't want to be in a pageant. I liked being a singer in church and all that way. And this one lady just kept saying, you got to be in it. And finally I said to my husband, I might as well do it because she's not going to let up. And so I did. And I think the wonderful thing about all this, it's performing, that's true. And you're competing, that's true. But the friends you make are the most wonderful in the world. I would have never met these two ladies at all. It's all over the city, you know, county, West County, and you wouldn't have met these ladies. No matter how many years you lived, you couldn't meet them all. And they become your friends, and that's the wonderful thing, I think, that you do. So,
when you look back at, we talked before about your year, so for anybody just joining us now, explain some of the things that go on throughout the year. When you go out and you perform at all the different places that you perform, you're almost leaving behind a legacy about the pageant. How seriously do you take that role?
Oh, I take it very seriously. There are going to be people that are going to be hearing you that day. There are going to be people that will hear you in the future from things that have been recorded and kept in the archives. I think that I look at myself even when I leave home and go to the grocery store now as somebody who needs to be a role model. And I have always been one who wants to share things that I do with other people, share things that I know. I love to help my friends create a new talent or a new skill. In fact, my philosophy of life was share yourself and what you know with others. And this has given me a way to do that in a very responsible way. I accept that with a lot of responsibility.
And Denise, what do you say to everyone as you're behind the scenes, scrambling like crazy, to portray to them as they go out on that stage that, you know, this isn't some little pageant. This is something big. This is something that could change not only your life, but a lot of other people's lives.
I think the one thing is we tell them to relax, have fun, because they get very tense. We all do. Even though we've sung before or we've done a lot of things, you are tense. You've never done this before, or I never had done that. I just sang in church choirs and things. That's the biggest thing, to relax them and say, hey, this is your opportunity to meet people, to be around, and do your very best. And that's all you can ask for.
And for yourself and Peggy, what's it like when it's over, that day after?
It's a relief. You hope you've done a good job. The Queen is paramount in what you do because you have to look to her and you have to get her set to do all these other things she has for a year. So that's our job too. Once it's over, we have to look to the Queen and help her that year.
And for yourself, what's it make you feel like when other winners from other states come in and say, wow, you guys run your pageant wonderfully? It's got to make you feel great.
It does. And it does take a whole year. You know that. You've been around with us for quite a while now. You know it takes a long time. And you do get finished with one. The contracts have to be signed for the next year. The venues have to be chosen. It starts all over again, you know. So it's never ending.
I have to ask you, Sonia, do you wear your pageantry, I guess I could call it, to the store, to the grocery store, around the house? Does it afford you any extras, I should say, around the house?
No. I do not wear my crown and my banner unless I'm representing the Cameo Club at something.
See, I would wear it all the time.
Well, you don't want to draw that much attention to yourself always, but it does afford me some extras around the house, because my husband has picked up and said, whatever you need, I'll do the heavy lifting. You just tell me where to go. And he's been so supportive. And he gives me extra attention and extra help. And so it has been a benefit.
Now, do you make your husband call you Queen?
No, but he does.
What's the rest of the family, the friends, the neighbors, you know, your group think about what you did?
My gosh, it has been amazing to see the support that I've had. First of all, my family, when I went to National Pageant, my 2 daughter-in-laws took my 3 granddaughters out of school and flew them to Atlantic City, New Jersey, so they were there with me at the pageant. That was just amazing. I just loved having them there. My neighbors have all rallied together. They're getting ready to do a watch party for me for the video from the National Pageant. But what they really did that surprised me was I came back from a trip right after the pageant, and they had a flash mob in the street in front of my house with a big banner on the front. And we did pictures, and I have just been amazed at how many people mention it to me when I go somewhere, and all the support that my friends and family have given me.
So Denise, for everybody out there watching, this is something that can really change your life, not on just a little scale, but a huge scale.
It can. And it takes us, well, you know, you've been there with us, it takes a certain person to be queen. I think when the judges do a wonderful job and they look around and they see who's going to represent us and at national, it's a big responsibility. It's a big responsibility for judges that they pick the right one. And then they pick the first runner-up and second runner-up, so that if the queen cannot perform, then they do. They fill in. So it's a great responsibility for everyone there.
What I find really neat about the whole experience is that it seems like almost everyone who is involved in it comes back year after year to stay involved in it. They keep their hand in it in some shape or form. And that's that feather in the hat for your organization, wanting people to come back over and over again. It's an open arms type invitation.
Yeah, well, we have one of the largest cameo clubs in the United States, which is a blessing. And I think we all do work together. Not everybody can work on the pageant, but they think about us and know we're there, and they maybe just come to the pageant. So that's a help too. We have to fill those seats. So, and we've been at the Egan Center quite a few years, and it's a great facility for our pageant.
And Sonia, you had mentioned in the open, you said I'm halfway through, and I asked if that was good or bad, and I know there's mixed feelings on both sides. You want to get back to your regular life, but you don't want to give this up. What's it going to feel like when you stand on that stage next year and I introduce you and you come out and it's time for you to give it away?
Well, it's going to feel exciting to see who the new person is. I'm going to be thrilled with being involved in getting the crown on this new person's head and helping give some guidance as they go on in the next year. And I'm just going to look at it as a beginning, because I'm definitely staying involved with the Cameo Club. It's why I got in it in the first place, because the Cameo Club is all based around giving back to the community and helping people. So I want to do showcases. I want to continue as long as I can to play my instrument and to help. I mean, I want to get involved in maybe the tambourine choir or the tap dance group. I definitely am looking forward to staying involved after this year's over.
And there's never 2 years that are there's no similarity between any 2 years, even though it's the same pageant, it's kind of the same thing. It's totally different, and that's got to keep it exciting for you.
You have to adjust. You have to adjust to the people that are in it, and you have to adjust to what they need. Some need more help than others, and it's a full-time job. And when Peggy had said, well, we start the rehearsals, and we start really in February with the first time, and it's a full-time job, and we work to get them the best they can do.
The one thing I want to stress here, because I've mentioned to a lot of people that I've been involved with this as judge, MC, and a lot of people say, I could never do that. But you know what? I never thought I could stand on the stage after Don Wolf and everybody and MC it. But you get up there and you guys made me feel comfortable. It was fun. It was friendly. And that's exactly how I saw the contestants backstage. Everybody was, you know, I mean, there are some tense moments when you get ready to go out, but it was all laid back and fun. It was about the experience. Is that what you want?
That's what it is. It is an experience. And we want it to be a good experience. We want it to be something that they will remember. And it isn't all about winning. I mean, yes, you want to win and you want to do the best you can do. But even the one who comes in last or whoever they are, they've done something for themselves and for us and for everybody in the audience. And that's what we want them to feel.
And if you're involved in the pageant, that's how you get into the Cameo Club, which is the group of dancers who go out and perform. If someone wants to have the Cameo Club come to their organization, they can contact you, and that can all be arranged, right? How can they do that?
Well, we have a person who takes care of all of that, and we give their names and phone numbers out, and they call and say, this is what we want to do, or we'd like a program from you. And we're more than happy to do any program wherever they want us, you know.
And we will put that information up here right now, and we'll also put it up at the end of the show in terms of how you can contact the Miss Senior America organization, because this is coming up end of January here. You're going to get things really kicked off and moving here. So your advice right now, everybody sitting out there who's saying, that sounds kind of interesting, because most of the time it's other people that are pushing somebody that goes, you would be really good for this. What would you say to them?
You always think you wouldn't be, but let me tell you, I thought the same thing, and it has turned out to be such a fun experience. I would encourage everybody to give it a try. You can do it, and it's not all that nerve-wracking. It's just it's sort of like being in a sorority and just having a sisterhood develop around you, and it's fun. You get through the pageant without it being too hectic, and then you've got a year of fun ahead of you. I would encourage people to give it a try. And the Cameo Club has turned out to be just such a wonderful group to be involved with. I really like that.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you. I'm glad you're having a good time, and I'm sure the last 6 months here will be great for yourself.
Thanks.
And Denise, I know you and Peggy always do a great job, and everybody else. I don't want to leave any names out, because
everybody,
I don't want anybody mad at me.
It takes a big team.
There is
to
a
work
whole
this
bunch
out.
of people behind the scenes that make this thing possible. So thank you guys so much. One more time, the date of the pageant and where they can find out more information.
July 13th, 2014, 2 p.m. at the James J. Egan Civic Theater in Florissant, Missouri. And Peggy's name will be on your little
screen right now. You can see it.
Yes.
And just
and you get a hold of Peggy, and she is the one that works with the contestants most of the time. And then I'm the business part that has to sign the checks and get everybody going. So
sounds good. Ladies, thank you so much once again. Denise Lavery, Peggy Eggers in our first segment, and of course the Queen, Sonia Nelson-Stowe. Thank you so much. And this year maybe you can teach me how to play that hammer dulcimer.
Oh, I would love to.
Because I've been a drummer all my life, so I could.
Oh, it's like playing the drums but with a melody attached to it. You would love it.
I'd
love to teach you.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on News 20 on GTN. Have a good evening.
Hello, my name is Norm McCourt. I'm the mayor of the city of Blackjack, Missouri. Make sure to follow the city on all of our social media platforms, including Facebook at City of Blackjack Government and on Twitter at City of Blackjack. and of course, right here on GTN TV. You can also visit us on the web at cityofblackjack.com. As our motto states, we are proud to be connected with the community.